Yo, Dan Larson here. Welcome to the Neuro Synthesize Sunday episode. 2 weeks ago I made a poll on Facebook in my Facebook group about what you guys want to see as the next tutorial, and some of you voted for the 909 style open hi-hat synthesizing tutorial, but most of you guys were interested in the Neuro-ish drum and bass tutorial, so here is it. So as you can hear, it's very nice, deep, evil kind of Neuro bass. But before we jump into it, let me encourage you to subscribe and hit the little bell icon to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. I upload Synthesize Sunday tutorials on every Sunday, EDM production tutorials on every Wednesday, and song feedback sessions on every Friday. So if you don't want to miss any of these, smash those buttons for good. I use a trilobite and a Reese waveform from the spectral folder. I think the Reese coming from, no, it is coming from digital. Okay, and what I did here is I automated the bandpass filter, which is the most important part here. I also use the sub, but it is not that important. Which is more important is this LFO, what I use to modulate the level of the sub, the wavetable position on both oscillator A and B, and the filter movement, and also a few things like the level on oscillator A and B. Now this is a very interesting part because, as you can see, these two oscillators work against themselves. So basically when oscillator A drops down, oscillator B jumps up. So this is how they compensate themselves based on the movement on LFO1. And in the effects I didn't do too much, to be honest, but it is a very important part that the distortion here adds some very nice crunch. So let me compare without the distortion. And I also modulated the drive at knob 2 because I don't want to, ruin the very low end and the middles, only just adding a touch of crunch to the sound. And I also high pass filtered the sound before distorting it. And this is again a very nice thing because basically what I'm doing here is I'm not touching the very lows again, which is very important, but I'm just adding some crunchy middle and top frequencies. But before we distort this, let's go back to the filter, the bandpass filter, and as you can see, I pushed out the drive pretty heavily. So let me compare it without driving. So as you can hear, it's a very important part again, because we can use several places, several instances of distortion, and this is one of them. So the drive on the filter is again a very nice stuff. The flanger again is not that important, but it definitely adds some nice top end to it. So let me show it to you without it. And also adds some nice stereo effect. The phaser somehow brings some elements which are very cool, which the OTT brings up a little more too. So it is not very drastic again, just a pinch of effect to it. And it plays with the middles a little, so it makes very nice and smooth and even. So it's a very nice thing if you use a phaser, to play around with the middle frequencies. Like, phasers always make some cuts in the spectrum. It can be cool to clean up your spectrum, clean up your sound, and if you want, you can do that on the middle frequencies too, so not only the top or the bass. But this time the purpose of the phaser is not to add like an evil character to it, but to clean up the middles. And an OTT like regularly is not a big deal, but the filter, what I'm using here is again an important one, is not really because of the filtering, but the drive again. Okay, so the purpose of this filter is really about adding some more crunch to it, and some highs and some cut at around 1500 Hz, add some very nice cleanness to the sound. So this is the preset itself. It's not very complicated. I used 2 more LFOs, but as I can see, but to be honest, I never use them, so we can get rid of them, you know, to make it a little cleaner. And this is not important again, so we can bypass it. So basically what I use here is only LFO2 and LFO1. And well, LFO2 is not very important because I'm just making some variation in the sequence using LFO2, but you can use it like an envelope and, you know, draw it in manually in the DAW. But, you know, I just added here as an extra thing. Okay, so this is a very basic Neuro-ish drum and bass sound, and the coolest thing is that it's coming purely from Serum. Okay, I added some EQ, but this is really about the mixing and not the sound itself, and some compressor, but the sound itself sounds something like this, and it is pure Serum, which I'm, to be honest, amazed how cool it sounds and powerful and strong. So I hope you enjoy this, and see you in the next time, guys, where I'm going to share, where I'm going to start sharing not only bass-heavy sounds, bass-heavy sound design tutorials, but several other stuff like house, ambient, and everything, because, you know, I like every kind of music, not only bass-heavy music. Okay, that is my main strength and my main interest, but I love really every kind of EDM sound, EDM stuff, which are cool and which are, you know, not poor and like dumb. So I hope you're interested too, and see you next week, guys. Bye bye.